What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a series, or welcome to a series that I want to do for you guys. Being that it's the off season, I know if you guys are like me, you guys are yearning for Washington Commanders coverage, and I hope to give that to you guys today. So what we're gonna do every Monday leading up to the draft, we're gonna go ahead and give out our mock draft Monday iteration. So you guys are looking at the pilot episode, mock draft Monday 1.0. This is our mock draft Monday 1.0 stream where we're just gonna play mock GM. We're gonna get our Adam Peters on, and we're gonna cook up. I know that we say let Adam cook in the Washington Commanders fan base, but we're gonna try our best and try our hand at cooking up ourselves and being our own version of Adam Peters. So today I'm gonna be the black Adam Peters, the Mexican Adam Peters, the Hispanic Adam Peters. I know I look like a wildebeest right now. Y'all gotta forgive me. I need a haircut. My barber decided that it was a bright idea to go on vacation on Valentine's Day weekend. Like who said you could do that, bro? Who said you could do that? Got me looking like the beast out here on Valentine's Day weekend. But before we get started, like I said, for the people that's just checking in, we're gonna do these every Monday leading up to the draft in April, and this is our mock draft streams. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second before we get started. As a matter of fact. But yeah, every Monday leading up to the draft in late April. So this is our pilot episode. I'm glad that you guys are checking in for this. And yeah, I appreciate y'all support. Like I said at the beginning of this, I know guys, if y'all like me, it's President's Day. All the sports talk radios, they had guest hosts in. And I'm yearning for Washington Commanders coverage. Like it's been what 3 weeks since the season has ended, and it's been the longest 3 weeks of my life. And it's supposed to be the shortest off season of my life because this is the deepest we've went into a season in my 29 years of existence. So to kind of kill some time, get over the off season, we're gonna play my GM. I'm gonna be the black Adam Peters today, the Hispanic Adam Peters. And I want to take you guys on a journey with me. So every Monday we'll have our mock draft Monday streams. So yeah, 7:30 on Mondays during the off season up until late April. Y'all know the place to be. That's over here with Bleeding BNG. But yeah, let's see what the comments talking about. I can't read the emoji. Zach, but shout out to my group chat brother and Zach on here. My guy. Rio done got me sold at Hampton at 29. Bro is like that. Man, let me tell you, I sold Rio on Hampton at 29. Because I honestly think that Omarion Hampton is a lot closer to RB1 than he is the RB3. He reminds me of like prime Joe Mixon, like just a dude that was built, a motherfucker that was just built to play running back, 3-down workhorse back. And I think he can give you some contribution in the pass game. I'm not saying that he's a dynamic receiver by any means, but he can give you a little screen pass. Like shit, Brian Robinson gives you production, and the least he could do is what Brian could do. Nah, definitely. We definitely need a running back. We need an upgrade over Brian Bad. Y'all know if y'all been following Bleeding BNG, y'all know I was one of the, I hate to toot my own horn, but I was one of the earliest in the community to be out on Brian. And I see a lot of you guys are starting to come around to it. That Brian, he nice guy. He's Robert Kelly. He's Fat Rob Kelly with a feel good story, man. But hey, it is what it is. Feel good story, good hard runner. But honestly, I don't want to see Brian if he's on the roster, if he's down in the Burgundy and Gold in 2025. I don't want to see him do anything outside of goal line carries. And I don't know if it's to the injuries, but he dies down at the second half of seasons. I don't know if it's due to his running style, but we desperately need an upgrade, especially if we plan on playing in late January. What's up, my man? What's up, family? How are you? Doing well. I really don't think we're gonna have no first round pick. We're gonna trade it definitely. I honestly If you would ask me today, what's the day? On Monday, February 17th, over 2 months outside of the draft, I am leaning for like 60-40 that we do trade that pick. If we don't trade 29 for Myles Garrett, if we don't trade, like I said, if we don't trade 29 for Myles Garrett, I do think that there's a possibility that we trade back out of the first round, because I believe as it stands right now, we only have 7 first-round draft picks. And that's not a lot. And I think 3 of those are coming in the 7th round. And no shade to 7th rounders, but that's not the highest of draft pedigree. That's not the highest of draft capital. So I think that, what Adam Peters has shown us with his tendency of, doing what he does as a GM, he's big on team building. And a lot of that comes through the draft, through younger players and things of that nature. Facts, yeah. We need an upgrade over Brian really bad. Brian. If y'all know who I'm talking about, that's y'all boy B-Rock. I denounced Brian of his nickname back in like December because he don't deserve a nickname averaging 2 yards of carry, 2 yards of touch. Trade back incoming. I absolutely believe so. And that's why I wanted to do this, because we're using a Pro Football Network mock draft simulator. I'm excited to see what trade ideas or what we playing GM for today. Like, we playing GM for today. I'm bored. I'm pretty sure you bored. If you're a Washington Commander fan, football is officially over. We had to go watch them dirty ass Philadelphia Eagles win the Super Bowl. I'm trying to palate. I'm trying to cleanse myself of that, cleanse my system of that Kelly Green that I've been seeing all over my screen for the last 8 days. I like Devin Neal a lot. I think Devin Neal had a better 2023 season, but I think he did come on at the end of the 2024 season. And Devin Neal, he kind of reminds me of like a young Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara was never a burner, but he falls under that category of a scat back because of just the tempo that he runs with, his ability to be a receiving back, what he can do in a passing game. I like Devin Neal a lot, and I'm excited to see what we come away with this draft haul. A couple of guys that came in the chat so far, they think that we're going to trade back. I'm not mad at that at all. But we're not dealing with Adam Peters today. We're dealing with Jalen Morgan and Bleeding BG today. So thank you guys for coming along on this ride. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started on this draft. So we're going to go slow. That's what she said. We just coming off Valentine's Day weekend. We're gonna take it slow for the draft speed. We're gonna go about 7 rounds. Well, she said that too. Yes, she did. And we're gonna go ahead and click on Washington Commanders. And like I said, we're using the Pro Football Network mock draft simulator. One thing that I will say, and one reason why I don't necessarily love doing mock drafts in February or early in the offseason is a lot of these prospect rankings are super wonky. So you're going to be getting value for a player that's going to go in the first round in April or go high second round in April that you might be able to pick at 60. And that just causes for an unrealistic draft. So I'm going to try to be as realistic as possible. Yes, I'm going to try to get value, but if a guy like Quinshon Judkins is there at 95, like, I'm not doing that. I'm not selecting that because I know he'll be long gone by 95. Or a guy like Travion Henderson, if he's there at 75, I'm not doing that. Like, that's not realistic. And I wanted to start doing these after the combine because they update the rankings weekly. And some of them have changed since the Senior Bowl and the Shrine Bowl and things of that nature. But like I said, I was bored, bro. So without further ado, let's get into Mock Draft Monday, our 1.0 iteration of Mock Draft Monday. Thank you guys for coming along. And yeah, let's get into this draft. Picking late, picking 29 if we pick in the first round at all. I'm so not used to this. I'm so used to having one of the top 5 picks in the draft. I was telling the guys in the group chat, the draft party for the group chat gonna be long as fuck this year. Like, shit. I might need to take me some motherfucking Red Bull, make it through that joint. And I'm gonna be sick as hell if we go through that whole draft party just for us to trade back into the second round. I'm not even gonna hold you. So the draft starts off with Shedeur Sanders being the number 1 pick, Will Campbell, left tackle out of LSU, being the number 2 pick, Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Mason Graham. So a lot of the names that we projected to be in the top 10, James Pierce Jr., came into the year as a top 5 to top 10, projected pick. I haven't seen him really projected that high on the mock drafts, but not mad at it at all. These are actually pretty realistic so far. Not mad at you, Pro Football Network. Kelvin Banks, offensive tackle. So Dallas loading up on the offensive tackles. Dallas be sick as hell. They draft the tackle with a guy like Tyler Warren that reminds them of a prime Jason Witten on the board. Tyler Warren then goes to the Indianapolis Colts with Tyler Booker. I'm actually going to do a video on this later in the week. So make sure you tune into the channel so you don't miss any of this content. But I think and Pro Football listed some of our biggest needs is offensive tackle, wide receiver, edge, cornerback, and linebacker. I agree with them on some of those. I'm actually going to do a video later in the week ranking our 5 biggest needs going into the offseason. So like I said, make sure that you're tuning into that video. Oh, Matthew Golden going to the Steelers. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. This run of wide receivers is hurting. I'm not even going to lie to you. Might make me more tempted to trade back. Emeka Ibuka, Shavon Revel, 23 to Buffalo, Nick Scarlton. But it seems as if within the Washington community, we have a lot of different viewpoints on what our biggest needs going into next season is. And I'm going to let you know now, my biggest priority going into the 2025 offseason is how we compete with the Philadelphia Eagles. We build a team to beat them. Everybody else is going to fall by the wayside. So we are up on the board at 29. We got some decent names on the board. We got Nick Emmanwori on the board, safety out of South Carolina. I like him a lot. Tyleik Williams, defensive tackle out of Ohio State. We got Walter Nolan, defensive tackle out of Ole Miss. Kenneth Grant. Some names that went off the board. I told you that wide receiver run hurt us. Not even going to lie to you. Mike Green, name is a popular name within the Washington Command community, especially when the draft is concerned. Just went off the board at 28. The Detroit Lions, they get their edge rusher. So what we doing here? What are we doing here, y'all? What are we doing here? Y'all let me know. What are we doing here? We got some names on the board. We got Nick Emmanwori on the board. We have Tyleik Williams on the board. A guy like Walter Nolan, defensive tackle. I think he could play the 3-tech, honestly, in a 3-4 system. I think that's the name that's sticking out to me a lot right now. But I will say that, a lot of the talk going into this draft is how the running back and the defensive tackle position is deep. And that's music to my ears because that's what we fucking need is a running back and a defensive tackle. At the very least. At the very least, we need a running back and a defensive tackle. And that holds true in our mock draft simulator 1.0. We have a lot of stout defensive tackle, interior defensive linemen still on the board. Like a guy like Kenneth Grant. I like him as a run stuffer. And I like what he does in the run game for Michigan. They had those 2 Michigan wall, Amazing Blue wall, the younger, better version of the Alabama wall that we've claimed, So we've held to such high acclaim over the course of the years that we're looking to replace this offseason. Jalen, what do you think about Jaden Higgins with Jalen Noble? Got to look more into Jalen Noble's game. I don't know if you're talking about Jalen Royal. If you're talking about Jalen Royal, though, I'm a Jalen Royal stan. This is a Jalen Royal stan account. I think there's a case to be made that Jalen Royal is in the top 5 receivers in this draft class. And I like Jaden Higgins a lot. Think he's like a late round 2, early round 3 pick right now. Curious to see what he does at the combine. But he does give you something that we've been yearning for, we've been looking for in the Washington fan base as a 6'4". I think he's 6'4", big body receiver. I like my receivers to separate a little more than he does. But if he's able to win at the catch point consistently, like he was able to do in the Big 12, I was saying still in the Big 12, right? So much shifting going on. In college football in the landscape, man. But let's get back to this draft. So who are y'all liking? Talk to me. Oh, y'all gonna wait to talk to me in round 2. But right now, Walter Nolan is sticking out to me. Pause. No diddy. Nick Emmanwori is a freak. 6'3", 230-pound safety. I think he honestly might be the best safety in the draft when it's all said and done. Just with his physical traits, has the ability to play the deep post. Jahdae Barron, versatile safety, reminds me a lot of Brian Burns coming out a couple of years ago. Xavier Watts. I think he's more of a closer to the box safety. A guy like Jahad Campbell, I like him a lot. I think he can provide a lot as a coverage linebacker out of, Alabama. Omarion Hampton still on the board, and I'm actually liking these rankings so far from Pro Football Network. But if the draft board seemed to fall like this as of right now on February 7th, 2025, and we didn't get any trades, any proposed trades to potentially trade back, and it stood like this, I would probably take Walter Nolen. Yeah, Walter Nolen out of Ole Miss. Look at his draft report, his draft analysis. It says that Walter Nolen is a high outside talent with flashes of dominance, but struggles with consistency. We have heard that before. And his best, he's a disruptive force with overwhelming quarterbacks and ball carriers. However, he can also disappear for stretches, seemingly reacting a step too slow. His effort isn't an issue. It's about refining their instincts and process. And if a team can unlock his full potential, Walter Nolen could be the steal of the draft. I fully agree with that report. And the reason that Walter Nolen, one of the biggest reasons that he sticks out to me, other than a guy like Tyleik Williams and Kenneth Grant, is I really think that Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr., they love them shooting the gap interior pass rusher. That's why we've been linked to Osa Odigizabota, whatever his last name is. Sorry, no disrespect, but I ain't got time to be Googling your name right now. From the Dallas Cowboys, because he is that interior pass rushing threat. So the draft is after free agency, but if we do happen to strike out on Osa from the Dallas Cowboys, I would love to take Walter Nolen as a consolation prize. If y'all not hip to Walter Nolen, go ahead and hip yourself now, because like I said, going into this offseason, my full focus is on competing with the Philadelphia. Oh, we had a trade offer. What was the trade offer? Did I click over the trade offer? Yes, we did have a trade offer. The trade offer was, we had 3 trade offers. Washington was sent back pick 29 and the 2026 7th rounder to the Indianapolis Colts for pick 45 and a 2026 second rounder. Oh, they made my pick for me? What we doing? So they went ahead and made my pick for me. But thankfully, it was the guy that I picked. I'm guessing that it was because I clicked on his name. But yeah, we went with Walter Nolen. Okay, Pro Football Network. That's how we rolling. All right. Well, we AI in the draft right now, but that was the pick that we were going with anyway, so I'm not too mad. But yeah, we got Josh Carnley. We got some names coming off in the second round. Omarion Hampton still on the board at 40. But we got our pass rush defensive tackle, interior defensive lineman. Would have liked to see the rest of the trade offers that were proposed to me, Pro Football Network. But hey, got a player that I wanted, and this is the 1.0 iteration of the Mock Draft Monday. We still have weeks to go where we can have some different picks and some different outcomes going in the second round. Let's go back to the chat, see what the chat was talking about. What up, Dames? What up, family? Names coming off the board. Yeah, Walter Nolen. I'm assuming you're talking about Walter Nolen. He is good. My God, Jahad Campbell went off at 47. Jack Sawyer off the board at 48. That was a name that I was potentially looking for at Washington in the second round. Didn't think that he lasted in 61. Thought it might have been a chance if he didn't blow up the combine. Curious to see how those rankings update after the combine. Curious to see what Jack Sawyer does in the combine, because I think that he's one of the most ideal prospects for Washington, to be honest. Is that can hold that can set the edge and hold up in the run game. Why am I not allowed to pause the draft anymore? Do they only give you the option to do that once? Like, what are we doing? Denzel Burke. Ooh, the fall from grace Denzel Burke had over the course of the season. Landon Jackson. But as I was saying, the reason I went with Walter Nolen is Philly showed you got to build with the trenches. And I'm going into the 2025 offseason with the sole purpose of competing with the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, it just is what it is. Alzaria Thomas goes off at 59. 2 picks before Washington's second round pick at 61. The Washington Commanders have 1 trade offer. They have we give up pick 61 and pick 148 for pick 72 and a 2026 third and a 2026 fourth from Chicago. So we move back 11 spots, essentially get a third rounder next year. Because pick 148, I believe, is a fourth rounder. Oh no, that's an early fifth rounder. Don't care what it is. We're gonna reject that trade. We're gonna reject that trade offer. Sorry for all my trade back maniacs that is trade back or die for y'all. My apologies. And yeah, while we're on the board, we got some names on here: Wyatt Millam, Caleb Johnson, Jackson Dart, Isaiah Bonds, a name that sticks out. We already got our defensive tackle and Walter Nolan. So TJ Sanders doesn't necessarily stick out, even though I do think he's decent as a player. Mason Taylor is an interesting name here as well. Son of Jason Taylor. I think we could get more dynamic at the tight end positions. Yeah, it's definitely fuck the Bears. It's definitely fuck the Bears. So yeah, we're not going to trade back, and I'm gonna go ahead and take Caleb Johnson, physical runner, running back out of Iowa. I told you at the beginning of this draft was deep at defensive tackle and running back, and I was going to come out of this draft with a defensive tackle and a running back, and I was able to accomplish that within the first 2 rounds. That's a hell of a first 2 rounds for me, in my honest opinion. Xavier Restrepo goes off the board at 63. Let's see what other wide receivers are still left on the board. Ted Johnson still left on the board. Jaden Higgins, like my man was asking me about. Kyron Lacy. We got to see what happens with Kyron Lacy in that hidden run case. As of right now, the way the draft is playing out, I'm praying to God that Jalen Royal falls to 79. That's my draft strategy as of right now. He's ranked the 78th best player on Pro Football Network, which is about where he's realistically ranked right now and early in the offseason process. But as I said, I can make a claim that he's a top 5 receiver in this class. And y'all will see my heart come out my body on stream if he gets selected before Washington at 79. Fingers crossed. Mason Taylor. The Patriots, they want me to piss myself. Dorian Strong. The Patriots go Dorian Strong. 1 more pick. There we go. Hey, this draft is working out exactly how I would love it. How I would like it to play out in April. Shit, I can do this. If the draft play out like this. I could be up for executive of the year 2026 if the draft play out like this. Shit, just give me some slices of Papa John's and some wings, and we can call that a night. Adam, you ain't got to leave your house, boy. I can hold it down in Ashburn. If the draft play out like this, I might win executive of the year my rookie year. Not even gonna lie to you. We winning the Super Bowl. We're winning the Super Bowl. Alfred Collins, nice name. Cal Kennard. Damn, that's my edge. I can hold up in the run game right there. Dilemma. Nah, I told y'all at the beginning of this video, this is a Jalen Royal stand account. So while Cal Kennard can be an intriguing process, matter of fact, let me hear what y'all saying in the chat. What we talking about in the chat? Trade back and get lots of defensive. I agree. There's a lot of defensive talent in the draft. I wholeheartedly agree with you. Definitely fuck the Bears. So since we're not getting any input, and I don't think I need too much input right now because I feel like we're cooking with hot grease right now. So we're gonna go ahead and go Jalen Royals. If you don't know, now you know. 5'11" reminds me a lot of Jaden Reed, but I think he can be better on the boundary. Separation God. If you look at his draft profile, it says Jalen Royal remains one of the most talented receivers in college football. So we're not dropping him in our list despite his season and the foot injury. Did suffer a foot injury late in the 2024 season, but he was on pace for about 1,400 yards. Yeah, he was on pace to do some really like crazy shit this season. The injury isn't expected to impact beyond the pre-draft season. A star for Utah State Royals has dominated over the past 2 seasons, excelling even amid quarterback inconsistencies. At 6 feet, 205 pounds, his athleticism and ability to win every rep makes him a standout prospect whose draft stock should store in the next offseason. So, like I said, we're going to take advantage of this being early in the offseason. Jalen Royals, when we do this in April, he might very well be 30 spots higher than this in the top 50. But as of right now, he's 78. I think that's pretty realistic for February. And we're going to go ahead and draft Jalen Royals, and you can just go ahead and hand me the Executive of the Year trophy right now. Hold your applause. Hold your applause. Go ahead and hand me my trophy right now. I love Trey Harris. Trey Harris was gone before our second round pick. If Trey Harris is, I don't know if I'm taking Trey Harris at 29. But if Trey Harris is there before our second round pick, I'm running to for our second round pick, I'm running to the podium. I'm running to the podium if Trey Harris is there. Trey Harris I saw a comment today on X that I can't get out of my head because I think that is true. Somebody said that Trey Harris reminded them of prime Stevie Johnson. I don't know if y'all was outside for Stevie Johnson. Stevie Johnson of the Buffalo Bills. Stevie Johnson had about a 2-3 year run where he was that dude in Buffalo. He was probably the most prolific wide receiver in Buffalo in the 2000s before Stephon Diggs. Stevie Johnson, one of the few dudes that I saw breaking Darrelle Revis off on a release package at the line of scrimmage consistently. Like, y'all know about that prime Stevie Johnson. Y'all wasn't outside for that prime Stevie Johnson. But I like Trey Harris. He reminds me of Stevie Johnson a little bit now that I heard the comp. Can't really get it out of my head, but he just wasn't available for the second round pick. Let me know what y'all think of my draft so far. We got Walter Nolan in the first round at 29. No trade back so far. Doesn't look like we're going to be trading back because they sending a whole bunch of bullshit. We got Caleb Johnson, some of you guys' favorite running back. I seen it in the Washington community. So if you're saying you don't like that pick, you just a hater. You just a hater, bro. And then Jalen Royals. If you're not hip about Jalen Royals, go ahead and get hip. Like I told you. Reminds me a lot of Jaden Reed from the Green Bay Packers. I think he's better on the boundary though. But you're able to use him as a chess piece in the run game or end arounds in the slot. And we know they really want to run about 10 ball screens a game and see if he can house them. Hell of a blocker, dynamic with the ball in his hands. Like I'm a big Jalen Royals guy. If you don't know, now you know, and you need to learn some more. Let's see some names that went off the board while I was over here rapping. Torrey Horton from Colorado State went to the Ravens. Chris Paul Jr. And it's another Chris Paul coming into the NFL. Malachi Moore at 111. He fell off a little. Ollie Gordon at 109. Yeah, they didn't have amazing seasons, but that fall off is real. Those are two guys that was definitely easily top 60 prospects coming into the season. Malachi Moore had that crash out against Vanderbilt, and they said, your stock is plummeting, my boy. Your stock is plummeting, my guy. Some names still on the board. Gunnar Helm from Texas. Elijah Arroyo from Miami. Cam Scatterbo. My guy, Cam Scatterbo. I like Cam Scatterbo, but we already got our running back. Josh Farmer. Billy Bowman. Billy Bowman just went off the board to the Buffalo Bills. What y'all think about my draft, man? Let me see if I'm about to propose a trade. I don't pick again till 148. Where we at 123. I'm liking Josh Farmer here, and I'm wanting to see if we could double down on the tackles, to be 100% honest with you. I like Josh Farmer a lot here, but I don't want to give up any picks. I'm selfish with my picks, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That's why it's gonna take a lot for me to trade away some picks. Like, you got to give me a haul, because draft picks is one of the most valuable things to me in the NFL, especially when these guys have like 2-3 year careers. Damn, Josh Farmer just went off the board. Knew I should have traded up. What was I gonna give up? I got 148, 197, 207, and 231. The cupboard pretty bare to be trading up. Right now, as the names on the board, I'm looking at Antoine Powell-Ryland, more of a pass rush specialist. I know he was threatening. I don't know if he broke Bruce Smith's sack record for sacks in a season at Virginia Tech, but anytime that you are mentioned in the same line of breath with Bruce Smith is a fucking honor. Like, you got to be a goddamn dog. If you're just coming in, welcome to our mock draft 1.0 stream. Doing this every Monday, mock draft Mondays, up until we get to the draft in late April. As of right now, we're in round 4, or we just finished round 4. I made 3 selections. I'm cooking with hot grease right now. If this draft was to happen in real life, I really think that I'll be up for executive of the year. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Because yeah, it's getting filthy in this draft room right now. Might have to put up the partitions, hide the kids. Oh! And Antoine Powell-Ryland goes off the board at 147, one pick before Washington at 148. That hurts. That hurts. I told y'all that was the name that stuck out to me. Yeah, he gives us some pass rush juice, or would have gave us some pass rush juice, because he is not a commander. All right, so this is where I gotta get my Adam Peters on. I'm familiar with some of these names on the board. I like Jeffrey Bassa as an off-ball linebacker, moving sideline to sideline. Don't love this tackle board. Don't love the tackle board at all. Honestly, wish I probably would have did some more at tackle, offensive tackle, earlier in the draft. Yeah, this is why the GMs get paid the big bucks. I like Bassa though. I like Bassa as an all-ball linebacker. We do have to get younger. Jordan McGee's in there though. Terrence Ferguson's cool. Fadil Diggs, 6'4", 260. We don't have an edge yet. I do think that's one of our biggest needs. According to Pro Football Network, that would be a value pick because he's ranked 10 picks higher. Shit. I do think I needed to do something that offensive tackle a little sooner though. What y'all think? Y'all can be realistic. Y'all can let me know. Y'all can be honest with me. I do think I might have shot my load on the offensive skill position players. But this is where we're going to go. We're going to go with Fadil Diggs, because I do think we need to come away from this draft with some type of edge. We're going to go Fadil Diggs. And then we don't pick again till 197, fellas. So this is what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to trade up. Try to trade 197 and 207. Is there anybody on the board that's worth trading up for? Devin Neal at 202. Sheesh. Pro Football Network is not fucking with my boy D Neal. I ain't gonna lie to you. I might stay put if Devin Neal at 202. See, this is what I mean. Like about them rankings being wonky. Like I can't trust him if my boy Devin Neal damn near undraftable right now. Like what we doing? Like what we doing? My boy Devin Neal damn near undraftable according to Pro Football Network. God damn, I didn't realize we had this many picks in between picks. Shit. This is the time where they break out the whiskey sour in the draft room. They break out the bourbon in the draft room. Don't nobody want to propose no picks to me. Propose no trades to me. At this point, honestly, when you get to round 5, round 6, round 7, you start looking for prospects. You start looking for projects. Guys that had traits. Not familiar with Jalen Rivers' game, but he looks like he has the traits at 6'5", 325 pounds. That's prototype NFL tackle size right there, but I doubt he lasts to 197. So this is what we're going to do. Just to get the guy that we want, we're going to propose a trade. We're going to propose a trade with the Denver Broncos. We're going to give you 197 and 207. And next year is 7th. No. That should be enough, man. That should be enough. Oh, my God. They so damn rude in Denver. All right. All right, we're gonna try. We're gonna try one time. We're gonna knock on the door in Aspen. They probably just came off the slopes. We're gonna send 197, 207, and a Washington 7th to Denver for 171. Come on, we can with high grease. I need that 2nd round pick. Fuck them picks, man. Fuck them picks. Washington's back on the board at 171. We're gonna select Jalen Rivers. We're gonna select Jalen Rivers. Y'all gonna let me draft my man? Like, what we doing? So I got my offensive tackle, I got my wide receiver, I got my edge, got my running back. I feel like I filled out the most important positions of need for the Washington Commanders. As I said at the beginning of this video, I am going to be doing a video later this week, so make sure you tap into the channel on the my ranking of the most important positions of need, or the biggest positions of need that Washington needs to fill in the 2025 offseason. Because just scouring over the course of Washington Commanders community, there seems to be a variance of opinion on what our biggest needs are, who we should go after, and things of that nature. So I'm going to go ahead and get my Bleeding B&G stamp on what we should do as far as positions of need for the roster and how we should supplement those. So make sure you tune into the channel for that. But as of right now, I am not mad at my draft. Let me know what y'all think about my draft. Walter Nolan at 29, Caleb Johnson at 61, Jalen Royals at 79, Fadil Diggs at 148, and Jalen Rivers at 171. Like I said 10 minutes ago, you might as well hand me my Executive of the Year trophy now. Like what we talking about? Like, what we talking about? Grade my draft. Grade my draft in the chat. Grade my draft. Grade my draft in the chat. I need one more piece. We're going to close out the draft at 2:31. And I'm going to send you guys out on your night. Hope you guys have an amazing night. My night's going to be even better knowing that I came away from this draft like this. I don't know why I'm acting like this is real life, but hey, this is the doldrums of the off season, the dog days of the off season. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, this is our first iteration of Mock Draft Mondays. We're going to do this every Monday up until the draft. So tell a friend, come play GM with us. We're going to put on our Adam Peters hat. I might get a chef hat next week for the way that I cooked up this fucking draft. Not even going to lie to you. I might replace the Commander's hat for a chef hat. Because it'd be a hat, though, because my barber wants some bullshit right now. It's going to be a hat. If he keep being on this bullshit, going on vacations on Valentine's Day, like, who does that? You a barber, bro. We need you. And this is where I regret doing the slow pace of the draft. But this is what I do for my viewers so you guys can see the names coming off of the board. Don't know if you guys will be familiar with any of these names because we are in the 7th round. RJ Harvey's still on the board. Tyler Cooper's still on the board. There's some decent names. Devin Neal's still on the board. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Devin Neal's still there at 231. I'm taking him. I don't care if I already take a running back. I'm taking him. Tonka Hemingway's still on the board. Shiloh Sanders still on the board, as he should be. As he should be. Shiloh shouldn't even be ranked in the 200s if we're being 100% honest. That's a nepotism, baby. Shiloh and Dion worse than LeBron and Bronny. We keep it in a whole bean. Shiloh and Dion is worse than LeBron and Bronny. That's the part that we not saying out loud. Like, Shiloh need to be working on the media company with his big bro. Like, Shiloh Sanders is not better than Glenda Miller. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I don't know if Dante Trader is better than Glenda Miller either. I watch a lot of Maryland football. Willie Lang, the 5'9" guard from North Carolina. Willie Lankins is an athletic phenom. About 3 picks away from closing this draft out. And Devin Neal is not on the board anymore. Who drafted my man Devo? Who drafted my man Devo? The Broncos. Ooh, Devin Neal with the Broncos. That's sticky. I don't know why I'm putting too much thought in this pick. It is the 7th round pick. But we're gonna go ahead and go with Jimmy Horn Jr. because that's the only name I recognize right now off the top of my head. Oh, I know Cody Simon. Yeah, we still want to go Jimmy Horn Jr. So that'll do it for my draft as we wait for the draft to commence. Walter Nolan, I made 6 picks. Walter Nolan from Ole Miss, our number 1 pick. Caleb Johnson at 61. Jalen Royals at 79. Fadil Diggs at 148. Jalen Rivers at 171. And Jimmy Horn Jr. Jimmy Horn Jr. to close out the draft. Yeah. Like I said, go ahead and hand me my GM of the Executive of the Year award now. Like, y'all not telling me in the comments. I don't know why, but I got motion. Y'all know I got motion. I feel like y'all might be a little jealous that my draft came out this amazing. But yeah, that'll do it for our. Is the draft over? I'm over here yapping. Is the draft over? No, it's not. We still got about 5 more picks. But yeah, that'll do it for our first iteration of Mock Draft Mondays 1.0, Mock Draft Monday 1.0 stream. You guys enjoyed it. Like I said at the beginning of the video, like I said throughout the episode, we're going to be doing these every Monday. So it's Mock Draft Monday every Monday from here up until we actually make our pick in the actual draft in April. So we're going to see rankings update with the combines, with pro days and things of that nature. And yeah, I'm excited to see how my mock drafts, vary over the course of the off season. It's still early. We got the National Scouting Combine next week. So expect, if the rankings don't update next week, the week after. But even if the rankings don't update, we still going to come back with you with Mock Draft Monday 2.0 coming next week. And yeah, our biggest needs for the Washington Commanders, ranking our biggest needs for the Washington Commanders video will be out probably tomorrow, if I'm being 100% honest with you. And yeah, thank you for tuning in to this episode. Thank you for tuning into the channel, this episode of Mock Draft Monday 1.0. I appreciate you guys. To sum up the draft that I had today, Walter Nolan at 29, Caleb Johnson at 61, Jalen Royals at 79, Fadil Diggs at 148, Jalen Rivers at 171, and Jimmy Horn Jr. at 231 to commence the draft. Had to double dip on my wide receivers because we got to get 5 J up as many playmakers as possible. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tapped into the channel. Hit the notification button so you're not missing any of this fire content. Because if it's anything for your Washington Commanders, Bleeding Me and G is the place to be. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll check in on you guys on the flip side. Peace.